Hello everybody, today I am going to discuss about multi-threading. Now what is multi-threading? Multi-threading in Java is the process of executing multiple threads simultaneously. That is, multiple threads are executed at the same time simultaneously. And thread is a small lightweight process, and thread is a smallest unit of processing. And this multi-processing and multi-threading both are used to achieve multitasking. Now, what is this multitasking? Multitasking is nothing but suppose a person is performing some operations on a computer. That is, he's checking mails and at the same time he is taking some printouts. That is, printer is also working. That is, both the operations can be performed simultaneously. This process is known as multitasking. And however, we use multi-threading and multi-processing because threads share a common memory area, and threads don't allocate a separate memory area for each thread. For this reason, thread saves memory, and it takes less time to process the threads also. And Java multi-threading is mostly used in games, animation, etc. And for example, if you consider a process and a thread, a process allocates separate memory area for the process, and it takes more time to process execute a process, and time taken is more, and yeah, the cost is also more. Whereas for a thread, the thread allocates a shared memory area, and the time taken to execute a thread is less, and it is also less expensive. And it does not block the user because threads are independent, and you can perform multiple operations using the threads simultaneously, so that it saves time. And threads are independent. Why? Because they don't. If one exception occurs, the other threads are not affected. Means they do not affect the other threads if an exception occurs. Now, what is this multitasking? Multitasking, as I said, it is a process of executing the multiple tasks simultaneously or at the same time. And we use multitasking to utilize the CPU. Multitasking can be achieved in two ways, using multiprocessing, that is process-based multitasking, and multi-threading, that is thread-based multitasking. Now, what is this process-based multitasking? As I said, in this process-based multitasking, each process shares a separate address in memory, and that is, each process allocates a separate memory area, and process is a heavyweight also, and cost of communication between two processes is also very high, and it requires more time for to switch from one process to another, and etc. Whereas in thread-based multitasking, the thread share the common address base, and thread is lightweight, and cost of communication between the thread is low. Now, what is a thread actually? A thread is a lightweight process, and it is a separate path of execution. That is, threads are independent. Independent in the sense, if an exception occurs in one thread, it does not affect the other threads. And Java has a class known as thread class, which is used to achieve the thread programming. This thread class has some constructors and methods to perform which performs operations on the threads. So this thread class extends the object class and implements the runnable interface. Now, what is the life cycle of a thread? Thread can be in one of the life cycle of the thread is of 5 states. Now, what are these 5 states? The 5 states are: first one is the new state, second one is the runnable state, third one is running state, fourth one is non-runnable or blocker state, and the last and the fifth one is the terminated state. This life cycle of the thread is Java is controlled by JVM. Now, how to create a thread actually? There are two ways to create a thread. One is by extending the thread class, and the second method is by implementing the runnable interface. And these are the commonly used constructors of the thread class. Now, what is this runnable interface? Runnable interface should always be implemented by the thread class. And it this runnable interface has only one method known as run method, that is public void run. So, public void run, which is used to perform the action for the thread. What is starting of a thread? How the thread starts? Thread starts using the start method. The start method is used to start a new thread, and then the second life cycle method is runnable state. That is, thread moves from the start method to the runnable state. And the third method is the running state. And the next method, fourth method is the non-runnable or the blocking state. And the last one is the terminated state. That is, when the thread is executing, the run method will run. Okay, now what is this thread scheduler? Thread scheduler in Java is a part of JVM that decides which thread to run. That is, when the thread should run and which thread to run. And once the only one thread can be run, only one thread can be run during a single process. And this thread scheduler mainly uses the preemptive or time slicing scheduling to schedule the threads. That is, thread scheduler schedules the threads to run. And the sleep method of thread class is used to sleep a thread for a specified amount of time. Sleep method makes the thread to sleep. And the thread class provides two methods for sleeping a thread, that is public static void sleep throws interrupted exception and public static void sleep. These are the two methods. The sleep method is having the two methods. Then after starting a thread, it cannot start again. That is, if you start a thread for the second time, it will throw an illegal thread state exception. Then next is the join method. What is the join method? The join method waits for a thread to die. That is, in other words, it makes the currently running thread to stop executing, and the other thread which will join will complete the task. Next is current method. The current method returns a reference to the currently executing thread object. Next, naming the thread. How do you name a thread? We can name a thread using the set name method. That is, thread class provides methods to change and get the name of a thread. That is, thread is also having some names like thread 0, thread 1, and so on. And we can change the name of the thread by using the set name method. So I will show you some examples. First is this thread example. Actually, how the program is public class thread example extends thread. Inside that, I am defining one run method, public void run, and printing system.out.println thread is running. So always control starts from the main method. First, the object of the class is created, thread example t1 equal to new thread example. Then I am invoking the start method using the thread object t1. So we'll see the output of this. So once the start method is invoked, the control jumps into this run method and thread is running is printed in the output. Next, naming the thread. How the thread can be named. So public class naming thread extends thread and defining one run method, public void run, and printing system.out.println running. So always the control enters into the main method, that is, the control starts from the main method. First, I am creating two objects for this class naming thread. That is, naming thread t1 equal to new naming thread t2 equal to new naming thread. Then I am printing system.out.println name of t1 equal to t1.getName. That is, you can get the name of the thread using getName method. And you can change the name of the thread using setName method. Then again system.out.println name of the thread t2 is t2.getName. Then I am invoking the method start methods using these two objects t1.start and t2.start. Then I want to change the name of the t1, so I should write as t1.setName. So no JSON. Then system.out.println after changing the name of t1, the name is t1.getName. So we'll run this program. So first the name of T1. First this statement will be printed. Name of T1 is thread 0. And next this statement will be printed. Name of T2 is thread 1. Then after changing the name of the T1, what they will get? T1 name changes to Sonu Jays. And this is current thread. That is public class current thread extends thread inside the public void one and printing system.out.println thread dot current thread dot get name. Current thread is used to give the current thread object. That is which thread is running currently, that object will be printed. Inside the always control starts from the main method. So current I'm not creating two objects for the current thread T1 equal to new current thread T2 equal to new current thread. Then T1 dot start and T2 dot start. So what is the current thread name? T1 name is thread 0 and T2 name is thread 1. Next join. What is the join method in thread? Public class join extends thread inside the public void run. For int I assigned to 1, I less than or equal to 5, I plus plus. I'm defining one try catch block. Inside the try block I am using the sleep method, thread dot sleep of 500. Inside the catch block I am catching the exception. So always the control starts from the main method. I'm creating three objects for this class join. And first I'm invoking the start method t1.start. Then inside try I'm again saying t1.join. So if this throws any exception, that is caught by this catch block. Then t2.start and t3.start. So we'll see the output of this program. So what is the output of program? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So first the thread started to run and it printed up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And next we said t1 dot join. It will make the thread 1 to die and then t2 will start. So we have given here thread dot sleep of 500. So once T2 is started printing 1, again T3 will print 1. And again when T2 printed 2, T3 will print 2. And again when T2 printed 3, T3 will print 3. And this is because of the sleep method. Next is the demon thread. What is demon thread? Public class demon thread extends thread. Inside that public void run, if thread dot current thread dot is demon. Okay, sorry, I didn't discuss about demon, so I'll explain this later. Okay, I'll conclude here and I'll continue in the next topic. Okay, thank you.